Okay, so hi there everyone, and this is Krissy from InTheStarsByKrissy.com, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I make my own incense, um, and how you can do your own incense blend by yourself. Okay, so I've already have a mixture over here. So this is actually a very personal blend of mine, and the ingredients that I actually use has a lot more on drawing a partner or drawing a person into your life to incite love, passion, and sexual energies, to have that form of attraction, all of those good stuff basically. Of course, I have like almost and more than 10 ingredients for this one, and I have grinded it up. Now, you will see a lot of videos that telling you that you only need a mortar and pestle. Actually, that's not really the case. You will actually need an actual grinder, okay? You will need to purchase a grinder by yourself, like a coffee grinder or a herb grinder if you can, so you can make everything in powder form like what you can see here on the video. I'll try to, make it near the camera and stuff. So it's actually in powdered form. So you will be using a lot of herbs, and to make this really powerful, you will need to learn more about herbalism and its magical properties. But there's a lot of basic stuff as well. Like if you want to have more love into your life, you can maybe make a mixture of rosebuds or rose petals, cinnamon, and maybe let me think, lavender and jasmine, or and maybe what else? Catnip. So that's a 5 herb blend that you can make a very easy love incense into your life to bring forth love and passion or friendship into your life. So the reason why I like making my own incense, I actually make use of incense when I do workings or rituals, aside from creating a candle working. I light an incense to empower that energy to the overall working of the situation. So there will be times that I do make my own and stuff like that. So, and you don't just, buy some form of powder ingredients and then stash it all in. You actually need to pray over each ingredient and empower the magical properties and all of those kinds of stuff. And you can just make a personal prayer. I do my own, and you can make yourself. It's very easy. I suggest that you work on 3-part ingredients, so you can try maybe a lavender buds and turn it into powder, or you can just purchase a lavender powder or a rose powder and then add a cinnamon powder, and that is a 3 mixture that you can use for love work basically, or to bring forth love into your life. Again, what I'm using right now is like a whole bunch of stuff. I have my own love powder blend over here. I have a love powder blend. I do have carnation, um, damiana, and forget me not flowers, and I also have cinnamon and all of those good stuff, and a lot of attraction powders, and I just mix it all up. Damiana and I would say Queen Elizabeth root, and what else did I put here? A lot of love attraction herbs, basically. So I use it by intuition to see through things, and it's going to be making one set. Technically, you will need to use your own hands to do the magic work in yourself. The only reason that I have a spoon over here with me is so that it's not going to be more messy than it usually should. Okay, so yeah, so I'm just mixing it all up, and because we want to draw things to us, and that's the reason why this is how I make make sure that, you know, it's all about drawing things in and all of those kinds of things. By this time, you should be able to smell all of the mixtures of the herbs that you are going to, that you have placed over here. Also, I added in like a small bowl, I don't know, a teaspoon size or so, a small container wherein I've placed in a lot of magic oils that I have on my shop. You can go to indestarsbykrissy.com/shop for those. I've added a love me oil, a love oil, and some essential oils like rose and jasmine, lavender, bergamot, and a lot of good stuff. Basically, neroli is one to encourage and incite love, and Jezebel oil as well. So what I'm gonna do is that even though I can already smell the energies of this mixture, I also like to add in the oils all over this to have more of that, you know, energy and goodness into the situation. So I still ended up using my hands because I am going to be, you know, making use of this. So as much as possible, I like to use my own hands. Just be prepared that whenever you're doing stuff like this, it's going to be messy. So make sure you have a towel or a paper or a tissue paper or something to wipe off your hands later on. So just put in the mixture while focusing on the energy of love and goodness into the plate. By the way, I'm not going to fast forward this video, so I'm basically, you know, making this as I go while doing the recording, basically. So the more that you add liquid, it will slowly darken. So as you guys can see earlier, it looks like light brown, and now it's starting to go darker. And as you add more liquids to it, because we are going to add water to, so that we can actually create the mold for our incense, it will be like it will look blackish like poop later. But that's normal. And yeah, the most important thing is to really work on your intentions and the energies. So doing this personally really gives the power and really ensures that the work that you put into your magical workings really gets the job done, basically. So yeah, I like making things myself because, you know, from other researches, I heard that some people just use random powder and turn it to an incense. So I trust myself more, so I like to make my own incense, especially when, you know, I'm selling it to people and, you know, having intentions on how to work through things. Anyway, so once that is done, once you have infused all of the magical oils to your powder, the next thing you do is to add water. Now, the key here is to add little water at a time. So let me first, you know, add little bits of water, one at a time. So try to get all the powder mixture so that we get most of the ingredients, because these are expensive stuff that I'm making right now. They're not grocery bought herbs. So yeah, Anyway, so this is the mixture that I'm going to be molding. Now you will need to get water, and what I'm using right now are distilled water that I, got from the bottle, but you can also use water from the faucet and stuff like that. And the key here is to add little water at a time so it does not get super wet and super sticky. Okay, so just a few drops of water, and then I just put them in so that they can get molded. This will take time, okay? So it's not easy to do, it's not very fast to do. In fact, it's very it's a lot of hard work, okay? The things that I do, my oils and stuff, they are not easy to do. Even though you're an expert. I mean, if you are mass producing stuff, then maybe it can be very easy to do. I don't know. But like for me, focusing and sending in the energies of what I want to manifest and bring into the stuff that I do does takes a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of mess. I'm not sure if you guys are being able to see, but I do have a lot of powder mixtures all over already my desk. So yeah, so you add in little at a time, and you can actually see that you are not there are some parts of the powder that are starting to take shape, but it has a lack of water, so you will need to add more water as you go along. But I don't want to add, way too much. I've learned my lesson when, during the first time that I made the incense, it became so wet to the point wherein it looked horrendous, and it was very hard because all the mixtures were stuck in my hands. Um, and I was not able to get the most out of the entire incense, more than that I should, because of too much moisture and stuff like that. So anyways, add a few drops of water at a time. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I added more water, and it's starting to get really sticky. Oh my gosh. Okay, so as you guys can see, you're now able to, create some form of shape right there. Of course, it's still not enough water. I still need to add more in a short while. Mm-hmm. So it's like, kneading a bread or a pizza. You need to keep on kneading until it forms into something. Give this so you will have to forgive me for being quiet in some parts of the video as I work through this little at a time, for various reasons which I've mentioned earlier. And it's starting to look like mud. And you should never be afraid on how it end up looking, okay? And always send in the energy of your intentions, whether it's for money or for love, to drawing a partner, to drawing in some form of attraction, whatever it is, whatever kind of incense blend that you're making, basically. And I think in a lot of tutorial videos, that is the number one thing that most people are forgetting to mention whenever they teach stuff. They forget to mention that, hey, you should put in, whatever magical working that you want to bring in. You need to work through what kind of intention that you want to bring into this. So again, the key here is to add little water at a time. I'm not able to form stuff, but I really think it's still not enough water. So I'm going to add a few more water until they can be fully kneaded. Yeah. Oops. So good thing that I'm actually using a plastic bottle for this. I'm going to, I tend to make a few bits at a time. I try to separate it, when there's like excess, so I can make, few more stuff later. See, it's taking me such a long time to actually, do them. I'm not even sure if I'm going to like literally post this video. But I wanted to share you guys how I actually, get my stuff done, so you guys can actually see. And you can do this project yourself if you want to as well. Yeah. It's always good to work through things yourself sometimes. Okay, this one lacks water. So basically, the key here is that they should be like some form of clay type of product. So add few waters to your mixture little by little. And you should also by now, once you're like forming your incense, you should have an idea on what kind of incense you are actually making. Are you making an incense cone or an incense stick? So this is like, once you are actually forming stuff, you should have an idea on what kind of incense you want to make. And as you guys can see, for me, I am obviously making an incense cone, which I'll be using um, in rituals or workings, and I'll be selling some of them as well uh, on my website, and you guys should check out my shop wherein I sell the spiritual goods and supplies right there. It's under in the stars by Krissy.com/shop, and you guys should be able to see goodies that I post over there. So I'm just molding it. I didn't really realize that it's not showing up on the camera. So I'm just molding it, but I think it's still in lack of water content. So this time I don't want to add too much. That's why it's not that, very sticky than my previous ones. Because, so it's not going to be the same like how you are going, when you buy stuff on Shopee or any other shop bought incense, because it's handmade. Uh, it's handmade, it's not mass produced, and I work through it with each intention and stuff like that. So, yeah, it will take some time to actually formulate this thing. So, yeah, now you guys know that the stuff that I do is never easy. Okay, so they are not easy. In fact, they are very hard to do, even for me. If you have a molder, though, you can actually do that. But and maybe I can do things faster that way as well, but I just have a habit of enjoying the process of shaping things out to like on how I wanted to look, like kisses, chocolate kisses. I don't know, maybe because I suck at cooking, so I'm actually enjoying the process on making this. So, yeah, the key here is to not really fret over the details and just enjoy how you're actually making the incense, to work for you. That's really the biggest key here. Also, you will need what do you call that? A wax paper or a baking paper when you dry them off, because the ends is going to stick like crazy while you're drying it up. I usually dry my incense the natural way, just leaving it for 3 to 1 week time, and then, you know, burning through things. Okay, lack of water still. So the key also here is that you should not make it too fat. You need to you know, make your own experiment, you know. But this is basically the gist on how you make your incense. You just need to, you know, shape it like how an incense cone is gonna look like in most cases. And if it keeps breaking up, then it means that either there's a lack of water, or you need to add more powder and stuff like that. So that's really how things work with this. And for me, it's a lack of more stuff. That's basically it, guys. You just need to keep on kneading it and stuff like that. If you add too much water, it will be quite harder to work through things, actually. So you need to be careful. Like right now, this this thing that I'm holding on right now keeps breaking up, which is taking me a long time to get things going. So I will need to get more dry ingredients later on, maybe, for this specific one. Or I will have to dry them up later. You can actually make a bigger incense cone if you want. I prefer incense cone from incense sticks, simply because they are less messy. Yay, it's starting to form. Not sure if you guys are really able to see that though. Starting to finally not break up. Starting to stick together, you know, like how it should. Mm. Sometimes I still see some breaking. I tend to get really OC with stuff like this because I want to make sure that it looks good. So again, this incense is to, you know, to bringing in that love, passion, and, you know, it's a like an overall love working incense to incite more love, to draw a partner in place. And can you guys see the difference? This one is actually bigger than this other one that I made. Not sure if you guys are able to see that difference. Okay, so it looks really big. So again, if you don't have a molder, that's how things are gonna be, you know. And right now I'm not using a molder, even though my friend actually told me to use a molder and stuff like that. I I don't know. It's just my own preference. But yeah, um, using a molder can be a lifesaver if you want to instantly make a whole bunch of incense done very fast, you know, those kind of stuff. So that would be good if you are wanting to, you know, sell your incense for some form of amount and stuff. But like I mentioned, and I think a lot, if you guys already know, I really like spending time with how I do my stuff to make sure that, you know, I'm sending in the energy that is needed to get done on whatever working that I am working on and stuff. So for me, quality is number one than quantity. So yeah. If you're interested in buying this, you can also check my website for that. Just in case, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not really selling this like overseas and stuff like that because I cannot promise that it's going to be pricey. So unless you are very much willing to pay for your expense if you're living overseas, then by all means, you know. But so far, I'm just selling this here in Philippines. Yeah. Okay, can you see? I've already made 3. And then, not sure. Should I make a small version for this one? No, I think I'll just, you know, use later on I'll show you guys um some incense that I've already have done, you know. So, but if you think about it, it's actually very easy, you know, especially if you're just wanting to use one ingredient, two ingredient, especially if you don't really need to grind things up anymore. You just need to powder form. So, yeah, it's actually very easy to do. Oops, I messed up. So, when you mess up like that, like what happened to me, you can, you know, either just use water, add a bit of water and then just knead it like so. So it can take some form of shape. So just do it as you need it, you know. I'm a very intuitive person, so I just do things on the fly, and I don't really do like heavy measurements and stuff like that. I never do that, regardless of what kind of stuff that I make, you know. Regarding my oils, like my oils are never the same recipe. So so this one is I'm finding it a bit harder to mold because there's a lack. I don't know. I think a lack of water. I'll add in a short while the water, you know. So try to find what area is breaking up, and then just, dab uh very few water, just like what I'm doing right now. You should see the difference of the drying in even in just one day. But technically, it would be better if you leave it for 3 days or in a week time, basically. Also, one of the good things that I really like with making incense is because even though it might look like dirty or messy when it comes to your hands, once you wash everything up, you can actually smell all of the ingredients in your hands. It's even going to smell so good, better than soap, basically, in most cases. So, yeah. Also, this is actually one of the reasons why I never understood why mass-produced items comes in very cheaply, especially when you buy them in Lazada and stuff like that, because they're not easy to do. They're not easy to do, and they're messy. And sometimes I just have no idea how other people can, you know. So, as you guys can see, I'm making a one whole set right now. So, one tray is like a one whole set of incense. Oops. Yeah. So when you do this kind of stuff, you should be prepared to make a mess of yourself. I don't think that there is any worker. I call them worker rather than a witch because it's so overrated. And a lot of people have negative connotations on what it means. So yeah, so a lot of worker usually have a messy workspace because they do a lot of stuff and they don't just purchase things on Walmart or on online every time. I mean, the workers that I know and a lot of that I know of, they do it on their own because the power of all of your magical supplies and goods is when you do it by, with your own hands, with your own workings and stuff, and all of those, neat and good uh things. So, so you can actually end this video, you can stop watching. But if you're still here with me and staying through my molding process, then thank you for that. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like the video and maybe share it to someone who might be interested. It's actually, so it's like trying it's like working with clays and trying to, make a mountain or something like that. Mountain or kisses, sending it the energy that this is, a single incense can actually be something that can be added to magical workings as well. So, which I'll probably make a video in the future regarding the process or how you can use it for rituals, like if you want to do manifestation work, for example, or if you want to to bring forth money. There's actually a blend for money incense, bringing in customers and clients. So if you are one of those type of people, then you can actually, make a money incense. Okay, it's it's breaking apart. You can make a money incense, and if you have a store or a studio or a workspace, you can burn that incense. I'm going to make two for this one. You can burn incense in your office and get that energy flowing, or if you have made a money altar or a money workspace. What I mean by that is something to do with money magic, basically. Now you know why my incense is pricier than what you can get if you purchase them outside. There's a lot of cheap stuff out there. It's just that the only thing I can promise with you is that, the process that I made it, the intentions that I've put in it, you can, be assured of that, of those things. So, and also, it's always trial and error. So, don't be afraid to have a hard time, to fail in working your incense. No one gets it right the first time. And that's something that I've learned as well, because I'm not really good with handicrafts, despite the fact that I do a lot of handworking with my rituals and stuff. But yeah. Okay. So as you guys can see, I've already made 5 over there. And then so you can actually make a lot depending on the ingredients. It's really more on getting the most out of your stuff, basically. Last time, and as you guys can see, look at my hands. They look very messy. But the entire process is so much worth it, I tell you. You just have no idea how the effects of incense, the smoke and stuff, and all of those things. And also, you should, try to burn one incense a day at least, and work it for 7 days, 9 days. Do it on odd numbers, 3 days, every 3 days, and stuff like that. Or if you are wanting to draw something into your life, you can burn your incense every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday if you want, or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you are a client of mine, you know that I don't do client working and consultation usually every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because during those time, I like to do my, stuff like this one, working through magical workings and stuff. And that's also the reason why you don't get the products, um, when you order it. I like to do them myself. And as whenever I'm doing it for a client, I'm like thinking of the client. This is for John Doe or Jane Doe or something. And I want them to have the infusion of love into their life and stuff. All of those wonderful things. So if you're doing it for yourself, always never forget the intention of why you're working, and this goes through whether you are doing an incense work or any form of spiritual practice and magical work. It's not about, okay, I've prayed over this and it's all done. It's not that. The feeling that you put here in your working is what creates a magic, the entire process and all of those kinds of stuff. So making this for, to bring forth lover, to bring more love and goodness. I also added deer song here, to bring in communication. So that there's going to be, it's not just about attracting or having the energy of love, but we also want to incite communication, talking, engagement, to build a rapport or something like that, to draw in things into your life, and Mercury kind of things, Mercury and Venusian kind of energy, basically. So yeah, if you guys, again, I've already mentioned, if you guys see that there's like, there are powders or molds that are breaking, it means that you might need to add in water content. Yeah, so this is the reason why it's not good to pour all of the water all in one go, because trust me, it's really going to be very hard, because you cannot make a new batch of your powders, unless you're just using normal ingredients. But if you are doing things like me, wherein I have my own mixture, that okay, this is for a certain, for a love, this is the whole set for a love and stuff, I cannot just add cinnamon to cover things up and stuff like that. So I like to, because it is a ritualized item, I like to, make sure that I get all of the ingredients, and, nothing more, nothing less. Make sure that that is really what you're having there. And also, there's also honeysuckle here, and honeysuckle is really good in binding and tying things down and drawing things up and creating a form of attraction and goodness into the situation. So yeah, there's also oranges over here. So I did add a lot of attraction work on this incense. There's a lot of, herbs that I still haven't mentioned yet. But those are some of the ingredients that I usually use to incite love and incite attraction, to draw things to us and stuff. There's also patchouli over here as well, just so you know, since that is really a powerful drawing factor, And also, you can use this for prosperity if you want, but I've actually used this for love, definitely for love. Drawing in a partner, finding a partner, bringing in the energy of love, partnership, and all this kind of stuff. So as you guys can see, there's still a lot of, ingredients yet. So I think I can use like more here. So I decided to break that up because that's too big. So yay, we're almost done. And I've rambled. The reason why I decided to not, do a quick video on this is because there is no way I can actually touch my mouse and stop this recording while I'm working in this, because this is not a video just to show you a sample. I'm actually using this, this is something that I need to really work on through. And it's something that's going through my shop, and it's something that's going to be used for workings and rituals as well. So yeah, cannot blame me. Also, let me know if you if you are also testing this the same time that I do. That would be fun. So another way that you can test it is that, if you are having a hard time in molding it, you can do it like so. If you have a space, you can, just create a shape of a cone like that. And then you can reshape things little at a time, and adding water. Okay, so I always have a hard time with the top, because they are very vulnerable to break apart. So don't forget to add some water right there at the top, okay? Okay, that's good. Mm. So I'm really satisfied with this because I did not waste too much of the ingredients, unlike how I did it the first time. So you will improve, okay? You improve as you go. So it's always a fun process. And by the way, this is how a actual blending looks like, you know? It will look dark and stuff like that because of the ingredients. It really varies because of the ingredients that you have, that you're using. So I plan to make this a really, really small incense. this one that I'm making right now, molding right now, basically. It's like a shape of chocolate kisses, definitely. So, and if you're interested to ask how much I am going to sell this, it's probably around 15 to $20, depending on the intention or the ingredients that I use. But yeah, you can just check my site later on if you like, and if you're interested. Okay, so that one is really small. Not sure if you guys are able to see. Okay, so we're now into what? The last one? So also, once that is, later on, once everything is done, I'll also like be creating a separate prayer as an added activation for the working. That's something that I, just to seal all of the intention that I am going to be placing for this work, basically. Okay, so having a hard time with this last batch. Also, I know a lot of people will, try to rush it all up, but my advice to you guys is to not rush it, okay? Don't rush anything. Take your time when working through this. And like I already mentioned this before, but it's better that you know, spend your time and energy to every incense that you make, because they're not just an incense for an incense. You actually have intentions for this. Of course, this is only for those of you guys who actually want to make your own. So if you are just someone who is interested in buying and stuff like that, you don't need to bother yourself. There's an entire process for you guys who are wanting to make use of the incense for their own benefits. So yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of incense. Okay, so if you want to draw things in, attraction work, employment and career endeavors, getting lucky with certain things, there's a fast lock incense if you like. I know a lot of my clients love the fast lock that I made. Okay, it keeps breaking apart. Isn't it annoying when you're at the last piece and it keeps giving you trouble? That's how I'm feeling right now. So there's going to be 9 per pack for this. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention there's a lot of magnetic sand into this, iron filings, because that is, literally an ingredient for drawing things into you, just like, how magnet works, basically. And a lot of attraction work has that, or at the very least, they should. Hmm. So I'm adding in water all over because it keeps breaking apart for some reason. Later I will show you guys um the other incense that I made, which is the Come to Me incense. And it's currently drying for the second day, I think. No. I think I should make this a little bit on the thinner side, and then yeah, not too fat, so that it can burn nicely. I know I've been quiet for such a long time, so I do apologize for that. I just cannot really focus talking while working on incense, or any spiritual workings and stuff. Okay, so we're getting almost done, finally. Ah, it break apart again. Don't worry though. They are all manageable, and once you get the overall look that you're looking for, the worst is over. The hard work is finally done by that time. So yeah, don't be afraid. Just double check everything and make sure that all is, you know, you don't need to be, as long as the shape is there. So as you guys can see, I made 9 batches. And yeah. So that's it. And what I'm gonna do now is you know, I'll just transfer some of this into a different container and then clean everything up. And then once all is clean, I kind of want to add this to maybe where, over here. Yeah, never mind. um so put it on another container so that I can set them to dry, and then dry for a short while, and then work on creating one more set of prayer for them for activation of their intentions and stuff like that, and then just leave it to dry. Give it 3 days to a week and stuff like that. So like I mentioned earlier, always have a towel with you or a tissue paper and stuff so you can wipe off things. So yeah, let me show you guys the other one. This is the other come to me incense work that I've made. I made this last night, and as you guys can see, it has already hardened a bit. You can, it's not gonna break apart, but yeah, I'm still going to have it dried up for 2 more days or for a week and stuff before I actually do a burn on them. But basically that's the idea on how you can actually make your incense work. And yeah, let me know if you give it a try and how it works for you and how the burning was and stuff like that. You can also roll it in a stick, or so maybe you can have more with that. It really is up to your own preference, but yeah, that's it for me here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.